Well, what the problem was a rogue bit of glue that was actually holding this steel plate to this plastic chassis. So as you can see, now we've finally got this radio down to pretty much its component parts. So what we're going to do now is remove the frequency counter module, which is this little darling here. Now these are extremely compact. In fact, by memory they've got copper, I don't know what, duct tape wrapped around the damn thing, presumably to try and shield the digital noise from the rest of the radio, which makes them a bit more difficult to work on. So I'm going to have to hunt out my schematic diagram and see if it's possible to, well, it's certainly possible. See where the correct pins are for lighting it up with a bit of 5 volts DC. See what we can come up with. These, the old cable ties. So let's get rid of that. Yeah, that's definitely. You'll see here that we can't actually pull that out on its own without unsoldering a whole heap of wires. Not more WD-40 or CRC perhaps. Yes, there we go. See the copper. I don't know actually how that's held in there. Probably held in with magic. Absolute magic. Yeah, this is this copper tape I was telling you about. You've got to be extremely careful with this stuff. Yeah, this has been doused in CRC to the point where all this tape has gone sticky. Right, here we have a little counter module. As you can see, it's tiny. I don't know, I haven't actually had one of these apart before, so I've yuck. So what I think is a little microprocessor in here that's a dedicated Sony part. What does it say in there? M54826P. No, M54825P. That actually rings a bell. That might be a standard driver chip. And of course in the sardine can, that's probably a pre-scaler. Most of these chips only operated, you know, probably a little bit up past the broadcast band, and required help to start reading anything remotely HF or VHF, which most up conversion receivers use. So really we want to find, there's the copper there, I've got to find the DC input, and although there are component, come here Chair, although there are component designations on the board, yeah, that's not immediately apparent where the power goes in. Normally there's a RF chokes in series with power leads. You can take that off by the looks. And what are we looking for here? We basically want a power rail of some description. So I'll probably have to look up the chip on Google and see if we can actually come up with a power pin for that. There's no internal regulator that I can see, so we'll have to be careful we only give it the 5 volts rather than any other voltage. So you certainly don't want to kill that one. Right, so at least we've got the radio in pieces, and it's relatively easy now to work on. We've got access to both sides of the PCB. Let's get rid of that over there. So yes, I'll give you a rundown here of what we've got. So you can see there's the audio board. This is the front panel board. That's just got a few switches and a meter driver. There's a meter. I've banged a bit of tape on it because I don't want the front of the case coming off and damaging the works. This is the AM tuner module, which is quite neat. The VFO for the AM is also used as the VFO for the colour it's tuning between all the 1 meg bands, as I've explained earlier. This is now the circuit board, which, as you can see, is relatively accessible. It's pretty hard to do. We've got the shielding cans on the reverse side of the board, so depending on what section of the circuit you want to test, repair or measure, they've generally got to be taken off. So it's a good idea, if you get this far into one of these, is to take a photograph of where these shield cans go, because it's an absolute Chinese puzzle trying to work it out days after you've taken them off. There is the this is that neat little pre-selector module I've already told you about. That's the RF attenuator there. That's the tuning capacitor, that one. Tuning capacitor, and the slide for the inductor is right there. So it's a fantastic design, it really is. Hats off to Sony. And we've got the right angled drive there for the conductors. This is the FM tuning drive. As you can see, I've put that wire there to hold this drum back into the chassis, because restringing that dial cord, man, that would drive you nuts, really would. And finally, here's the frequency counter module here. This is the one that I'll look at next. What I'll probably do is I'll have a look on the internet for that chip, if there's any info available on it, and figure out where to apply a temporary 5 volt DC supply, and see if we can coax some action out of that. And if so, then I'll have to trace back and to find out why it's not getting powered from the main PCB. So that's the next phase of the operation. So I'll put this up for those following this. You know, I know it's not the best video in the world, but I've never done this before, really, to any great degree. So, but it's the old story, you know. If you don't like it, you don't have to watch it, you know. But yeah, I just thought I'd give you some idea what's involved in fixing these damn things, because yeah, I have fixed them for people before. I haven't charged anywhere near what, you know, my time and labour, because it becomes just unbelievably expensive if I did that. So yes, as I said, it's pretty much a labour of love. And right, we'll see how we go.